Hi, I'd like to welcome you to MyStatLab Tour. First, I want to make sure you understand that you need to use Firefox or Google Chrome in order to run MyStatLab and Blackboard. Internet Explorer does not play well with MyStatLab and Blackboard. From there, once you've logged into MyStatLab, I want you to select your course. This will take you to your course homepage. Your course homepage will have a calendar which you see across the top here. It has a list of upcoming assignments as well as a record of your results that you can kind of see visually and see how you're doing on your homework, quizzes and tests, study plan, etc. These announcements that you see are from MyStatLab. Any announcements that I leave will come through Blackboard. Alright, that brings me to the study plan. When you first come into MyStatLab, you're going to want to look at the study plan. And when sometimes this pops up if you are blocking your pop-ups, which I block my pop-ups, so then I just hit continue and then I'm on my way. This is where your study plan will be. They'll open up here as you progress through things. You can also view all the chapters. As you come down here, you can see all the chapters here and click on them to study through the chapters. As you are successful with these, you will begin to get little graduation caps to tell you that you have successfully completed that chapter, which I completed my orientation chapter, so I have a little crown. It also tells you how long you've spent on that chapter, and it's got points that you've earned and your amount possible. If you are unfamiliar with statistics or feel like you're a little rusty with math, you might want to come down here to the Getting Ready for Statistics. This is optional. I'm not grading it, but if you feel like you might need some extra help, you might want to start there and kind of look at things. So the first thing you're going to do is work on a study plan. I'm going to click a study plan here, and I'm going to select a problem. When the problem opens up, you'll see across the top, as with homework, you'll have your homework problems across the top. These are the study plans set up exactly the same way. When you get a problem correct, it'll give you a check mark. If you get it wrong, it'll give you an X. You have the opportunity to go back to the ones that are wrong and correct those. So you may work on the problems that are wrong as many times as you want. Once you've gotten a problem correct, it locks that in place for your grade. Let's see, and you still can go through and do similar examples and whatnot afterwards. You can save down here where it says close. There's usually a save button here when the problem gets through the final thing. So you can save it there, which closes the window, or you can click to the next problem up above. If you're having problems solving the problem, you can come over here to the right, and there's some helpful hints here. First, there's the Help Me Solve It, which will walk you individually through each of the problems, so it tells you what to do. So you type it in. This one happens to say round 2 decimal places, so I type in 0.10, check my answer. Sorry, it's incorrect. Oops, I did not read the problem correctly. It was 7 hundredths. So I'm going to, oops. How about that? 0.07. Check my answer, and I got it right. So I get to move on. Close that out. Now it'll change the numbers up, and I can do this again and see how it does. If I don't want to have it help me solve it, I can also view an example where it simply just shows me how to do the problem, and then I can see it. There's a video if you need help with a further explanation, have somebody talk you through. Animations, which I highly recommend those. You can go back to the textbook. StatCrunch. Tech help is where, let's say you can't figure out how to save something and you need help, or you can't figure out, MyStatLab is freezing up or it's just not working right. You can go to Tech Help and you can get some help that way. If you want to ask me a question, you click on Ask the Instructor. It gives me the question and what it is you're working on, and I can see the answer that you put in, and then you can ask me a question and state the question here that you have so I know how to help you and what it is you're trying to solve. And then you hit send and it's all ready. It's easy to use. Print, if you want to print the problem working on paper, you can do that as well. The study plan and the homework are set up the same way. They look the same. They're just different areas. Okay, once you've worked through the study plan and you're ready to take your pre-quiz, you go to the quizzes and tests, you click on your pre-quiz, you take the pre-quiz, it will grade it, and it will assign your homework for you. Then you go over to the homework assignment, click on the homework assignment. It looks exactly like the orientation. Oops, I haven't taken the quiz yet, so I can't do that. But once I've taken the quiz, it'll open up something like this. It'll tell me what my current score is. You have an unlimited number of attempts until it's late, and then there's your penalty for being late. Once you've completed the homework, you can go back and do the post quiz down here. Take the post quiz, see how you do. You can only take the post quiz once. Once you've taken the post quiz, there's a couple things. One, you cannot go back and look at the problem after you've already done it. So if you've done problem 1 and you move on to problem 2, you cannot go back to problem 1. That's the downfall of taking an online course. The second thing is that if you want to use StatCrunch or StatDisk or something like that, you need to open it up before you take the quiz or before you take the test so that you have it open, so that if you need it during the quiz or the test, it's there for you to use. If you go to open it up after, your quiz will lock you out and you will be done with your quiz. So be very careful with that. If you choose to exit out of your quiz, you are done. Once you've started it, you have to finish it. Alright, so that brings me to StatCrunch. Here's StatCrunch. You can access it within the homework or the study plan, but you can also access it here on the left-hand side. Your grade book, here's the grade book for MyStatLab. Your overall grade will be reported in Black Book, not MyStatLab. Chapter contents, this just breaks everything down by chapter if you'd like to search things that way. Tools for success, I really like this section here. It's got Stat Talk videos, chapter review videos. Those are great for reviewing for the test or the quiz. One of the things I really like here, animated flowcharts. Those are my favorite. I find them very helpful. But also there's this Trail of Statistics series review card. This might be something you want to print out and have with you when you go to take the tests or quizzes, so they're sitting out in front of you. It's got all the formulas and things, and as long as you're using it while you work on your study plan and while you work on your homework and take the quizzes, then it's easier to use when you use the test, or when you take the tests or the quiz. Alright, next thing they have here is some other stuff for StatCrunch. So if you want some data sets from StatCrunch or tutorial videos, let's see, StatDisk. StatDisk is not on MyStatLab, so you have to come into here in the Tools for Success for the free download, and you can download it here onto your computer. Then there's technology manuals for Excel, StatDisk, StatCrunch, technology tutorial videos for Excel, and if you have a graphing calculator, you can use some videos here, or there's some videos here for you as well. You do not need a graphing calculator. Alright, that brings me to the multimedia library. Let's say you just have a quick question, you want to re-look up something, so I'm going to go to the probability chapter 4, section 2. I want to know what animations there are for that, and I can find now. The multimedia library is a quick search in order to find things I need for specific chapters. Pearson Tutorial is a free tutoring, well, it's not free. It's a tutorial service offered through Pearson Publishing, and you can, it's 24/7. However, it's like free for the first half hour, and then it costs money after that. Course Tools, under Course Tools, you'll see email and your ebook. That's it. You shouldn't see anything else within that. If you have any further questions regarding your MyStatLab, feel free to send me an email, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Good luck!